friends, wherever you are. See you again in this channel. Before watching, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you think this video is important. Before we go any further, let me introduce myself. I am Vincentius Naimnule. You can call me Vincent, and I come from Keva Manado. My registration number is 121180007. I'm currently studying at Widya Mandira Catholic University, Kupang, and now I am at semester 6. And this course is called the Community Service Program. My goal in making this video is to answer the title I submitted in a real-world lecture, namely teaches poetry writing skills through video tutorial. Responding to the problems that I raised above, which will be the subject of discussion, are: the first is explain the meaning of poetry, the second is explaining poetry writing rules, and the third, explaining the benefits of writing poetry, and the fourth, explaining the purpose of writing poetry, and the fifth, state the requirements for writing poetry, and the sixth, state what things should be considered in writing poetry, and 7, explain the steps to writing poetry, and the 8th, poetry writing tips. Okay friends, let us move to the explanation. First of all, I say again the title of this tutorial: teaches poetry writing skills through video tutorials. Good friends, the following is a complete explanation of the coverage I have mentioned above. The first is definition of poetry. In general, poetry can be defined as a literary work in the form of a beautiful series of words. Poetry itself is a literary work resulting from the expression of feelings of a person with language that is bound to rhythm, dimension, rhyme, composing lyrics, and stanzas. The contents of the poetry are full of meaning, and the language used is quite beautiful. And the second is poetry writing rules. As we know that in modern poetry there are almost no standard rules in writing poetry, unlike old poetry, pantun for example. Each stanza consists of 4 lines, rhymes, AB, AB, or AA, AA. The first, second line, sampiran, and the third line for contents. Modern poetry is poetry that is free, not bound by rules. It's just that in line with the meaning we discussed earlier. Sentences or words in poetry must be considered and abbreviated. Yes, if it is long, it can be a short story. The third is benefits of writing poetry. Here are 5 benefits of writing poetry for personal development that you need to know. The first is increase creativity. Writing poetry is useful for increasing creativity, especially creativity in word processing. Writing poetry requires skills in arranging words, language styles, and rhymes that are precise and beautiful. And the second is make feel. Writing poetry can make the writer feel better. In psychology, it is called catharsis. The word catharsis itself is the release of negative emotions and feeling yourself in a positive way. And the third is increase courage in speaking. Writing poetry can increase the courage to voice your opinion. Writing poetry is a means of expressing ideas, criticism, anger, and even advice on various aspects of life around you, such as social, cultural, economic, and political aspects. And the fourth of benefits of writing poetry is increased self-confidence in work. As we know that writing poetry is a work of mind and heart. This is what makes every poem unique and beautiful. To work means empowering thoughts, feelings, and abilities to become something that has an impact or meaning. And the fifth opportunity is for income. Writing poetry can also be a door to sustenance. You can impress your coffers of money by writing poetry. This can be started by sending your poetry to various print and online media, whether newspaper, magazines, or tabloids. In addition, you can also try out the opportunity by participating in various poetry writing competitions or competitions wherever you find. The key is to be consistent, keep learning, and never give up. Never give up, friends. The next explanation is about the purpose of writing poetry. The essence of writing poetry is to express or convey the heart content in written form in beautiful language and make sure our intentions are good or straight. And the fifth part is requirements for writing poetry. It is no different from other literary works. Writing poetry also has conditions, namely, first is determine the theme, and the second is selection of diction, the third is maximizing figure of speech, and the fourth one is we have to be able to imagine what all our senses feel in sentences. Yeah, that's very important. And the sixth part is what to look for in writing poetry. Dear friends, there are 5 things that must be considered in writing poetry. The first is consonant equations, and the second one is the vowel of equation. The third one is the sound equation at the beginning of the array, and the fourth, the sound equation in the middle of the array. Fifth, the sound equation at the end of the array. And the next is 7th part is the steps to write poetry. As for the steps in writing poetry, here are some steps that I already pointed out in here to explain. The first is define ideas, and the second is incorporate imagination. The third is determining the right theme, and the fourth is create a catchy title, and fifth, use beautiful words, and sixth, create attractive lyrics, and the next is changes or topography. Changes or topography. Characters in poetry are not in the form of paragraphs like prose. Changes in poetry in the form of a verse. Which of these verses contains the meaning of the author himself? Then the next is use figure of speech. It is very important, friends, for us to be clever in using figures of speech in writing poetry. The use of the figure of speech will be further beautify our poetry. The eighth is poetry writing tips. Here I present some tips on how to write poetry. The first is, if you want to make a poetry, first of all you have to choose a theme of interest. The theme have to be interest. Before writing, choose a theme that interests you the most, because by being interested in that theme, we will enjoy writing poetry more. And the second is choosing the right diction. Poetry is a series of beautiful sentences, so beautiful words must be chosen. The third is build an atmosphere. We create an atmosphere that will be poured in the form of poetry. The better the atmosphere will build, the better the poetry that is born. And the fourth one is the last one, baper. This word sometimes is very familiar in Indonesia. Baper, it means that bring feelings. Poetry is essentially an expression of feelings. So one of the important things in writing poetry is to bring feelings in writing it. Okay, dear friends, that's all about the video tutorial under the title Teaches Poetry Writing Skills Through Video Tutorials. I hope that this video is important for you. This video is helpful to increase to growing up your writing skills in order to write poetry. That's all. Thank you very much. Alright, dear friends, lately we have been hit by the problem of the COVID-19 pandemic. Therefore, to maintain our health, here are some tips that friends can follow. Namely, washing hands properly and correctly so that the community is not mistaken in implementing it. Here's how I can demonstrate it. Let's do it. The steps that you have to do first is wash your hands until they are completely wet. The palms that have been dripped with soap are rubbed in a circular manner 4 times. The circular motion aims to make the soap in the palms sweep the entire surface of the hands clean. And then clean the back of the hand in an up and down motion so that the germs on the back are gone. Then, between the fingers are closed and rub it so that the germs that are stuck in this part of the fold can be lost. After that, it is rotated and held. And the next part, all the fingers are glued together with the tip of the nail on top of the palm, then rubbed. This movement is to clean the germs that enter the nails. And finally, clean the gems around the thumb. And the last part, dry the hands that have been washed using a tissue or a clean cloth. But here I am using a handkerchief to dry my hands. Friends, if you want to go outside, don't forget to keep using this hand sanitizer as a protector. Just put in your hands and do this. Mari teman-teman sekalian, saya mengajak kita semua untuk selalu ingat pesan yang telah disampaikan di atas dalam hal memutus rantai COVID-19 seperti yang telah dikampanyekan oleh Satuan Tugas COVID-19 dengan melakukan 3M, yaitu memakai masker, menjaga jarak, dan mencuci tangan. Baik teman-teman, sekian dulu video kita kali ini. Saya Vincentius Nemnule pamit undur diri dari hadapan Anda semua. Sampai jumpa di lain kesempatan.